Everybody, welcome to Eating Patterns. Now, this week we're going to be preparing a very typical Latvian dessert, and it's called rupi maices kārtojums. This is a dessert that incorporates black rye bread, berries, sugar and cream. So I'm going to prepare this for you, show you how it's made. It's a very typical Latvian dish that sort of like comfort food for Latvians. When they miss home, it's something they might want to make, and they'll be running around cities all over the world looking for the right rye bread so they can make it and feel at home. I'm going to get started and I'll show you how to make it. So basically the ingredients, like I said, are the bread. So we're going to get started here. First, what I need to do is to cut the bread, and so cut it into small pieces and cut off the crusts. You can use fresh bread, you can use day-old bread, stale bread. The main thing is that you use rye bread. So what I'm going to do is cut off the crusts. I'm going to throw it in here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it like really crumbly, and then I'm going to whiz it. See, I'm an up-to-date grandma. My personal way of doing it is that I like it to be crumbly and easy to eat. So, what we want is something like that. Crumbed. Fresh breadcrumbs, that's what that is. Well, I've come up with my own little approach. I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar. This is actually a bit of a fancy sugar. It's a sort of coconut sugar. So I thought I'd add a bit of that. I'm going to add some dried cranberries, just to give the mixture a bit of pep. Whisk that all together. Then what you have is that. I've got a trick. You can save your crusts. Boom. Thing here, I've been saving all my crusts, and I'll show you what I'll do with those later. But meanwhile, the next key element of my dessert is the cream. So I'll just whip up some cream. So, but you know, I've got something I can use that for. It's sort of thick. I might thicken it up a bit more. Okay. So, now comes the building phase. So I'm going to start building the dessert. So let me see, place here. So the next thing is to put that there. So now I've got all this rye bread here mixed up, and I also did a bit of a, earlier I managed to make a little bit, so I've got more than a cooking show after all. Usually what you do with this is you leave it in the fridge for 5 or 10 hours and let it soak through, but we're not sort of being able to do that. So I'm going to put a little bit of water at the bottom of my pot here and my thing, and then I'm going to put a layer of this in. I want it to be a little bit soft. So. And then I'm going to add in what I just made. Here. Oh, I might have to do a lot more bread at this rate. So basically, that's, as I'll just say again, so this is white sugar, this is a mixture of the cranberries, yeah, the sugar and the bread, all whipped up together. There we go. There we go. The next layer is, what I have here is some, this is very delicious cranberry or Preiselbeer jam, so it's cranberry jam. So what I'm going to do is put a layer, but this is sort of a bit hard. I have to sort of put it across like that in layers, and so there we go, and that's sort of, you smooth it out, and then, because what you want it to do is you want the juices to flow. You need them to flow in. So, so then what I do is I get this spatula, and then I'm going to pour some cream across the top. And make a sort of a layer, and then pour till you get this nice colour going on. Now I'm going to put another layer of our delicious rye bread mixed with cranberries. Sort of let it sort of go into the cream, let it sort of settle and ooze into it. And then the jam again. Homemade, I didn't have time, but I could have made my own with these fresh cranberries. So I thought I'd just use something that I already had in the cupboard. And so we put another layer. And so hopefully that'll work. And then, oh, actually maybe I'll throw it all in there. Yeah. And then I put another layer. Now you thought that I didn't have any more cream, but I already have my cream. There we go. Put another layer of cream on. And there we go, down there, and so it's, you can see that that's the beautiful thing about this dish is that as you go, you're meant to see the layers. So let me see if I can do it better the next time round. So I'm going to get those up around the edges. here and put the rest of what we made. We all know what happens next. We're going to do more jam. Just fish it out. Some jam. So here we go. Another layer of jam. It's a bit hard, you know, like you sort of try to get it smooth across the top, but it sort of picks up and moves the bread around, so it's, you know, there's a bit of an art to it. And you know, with practice, that's why grandmas are so good. They get it, you know, they just have their approach and they just do it. Now I'm going to put another layer of cream. This one I already made earlier. And I think we're getting to the end of our dessert here. Let it sit. So there's different things you can do. I put in cranberries. You don't always have to use cranberries. I actually thought, you know, chocolate chips would be something interesting in there, wouldn't it? Could always try that. But so what I'm going to do is finish off the top here with just a little bit of cinnamon, just to sort of, and I'll just decorate it with a couple of loose cranberries that I had there. So there you have Grupšimēcis kārtojums, and that's the Latvian dessert that we're all going to try a little bit later. But before we finish today, you might be wondering what I had in mind for these. These are the crusts. So what I did is, you know, I brought some, well, what you can do with these is you can throw them in a tin, a baking oven baking tin, and then with the butter that you accidentally made, you can sort of throw that into the tin as well. Salt, herbs, bake it for 15 minutes, and then you end up with, I made some earlier, some crunchy rye chips, so you can cover your whole guest menu. That, you know, people coming in and they can have the wine and the chips, and then you know, have your party and whatever, and then at the end you bring out your Grupšimēcis kārtojums. So thank you for joining me today on Eating Patterns, and for everyone in the studio, you know, we're going to be serving this in about 5 minutes, so stick around.
Well, maybe to serve that.
Willst du es probieren?
Ja, sorry.
Darf ich diese kleine Portion haben?
Es ist süß, for help.
Aber nicht zu süß.
To do it with the other side.
No.